Mr. Big Box, $226. And the same tire at Pumpelly Tire, $169. Well, how about that?
Not only do we have great prices, we have the best trained sales and service people in the business. Come by one of your convenient Pumpelly Tire stores for that great personal service you've come to expect.
Hi, I'm Rachel Whittaker, sports writer at the Lake Charles American Press, and it's playoff time here in the Lake area. Thanks for joining us for this week's Friday forecast. I'm here in Westlake today where, as you can see, the town is fired up for the Rams bi-district round playoff game at Richwood on Friday night. Earlier in the week, I sat down with Westlake head coach Max Caldarera and talked about how his team dominated the Crowley Gents in the final regular season home game. And it was also Coach Caldarera's final regular season game as Rams head coach, as he's retiring after this season. Coach Caldarera told me that his team's defensive effort in shutting out Crowley in the second half was one of the best he's ever seen from his team.
That might have been the best half of football play that I've seen since I've been a head coach.
Really?
Yes, I mean, they played, I don't know, just such inspired football that second half and I mean, they didn't make mistakes. Everything was tackling, blocking, just like you would want it to be. Mm-hmm. And it was great to be on the sideline with it.
Yeah, and offensively too, Justin Nordberg had himself a very, very good game. Very shifty out there, and of course Devin Eaglin with his power running so consistently all season long. Talk about those guys.
Justin, that had to be his best game probably ever in a Ram uniform. Like I told him, I said, you were on fire, you know, why? And he just, you know, he said, I just wanted to play like that, you know. And Devin Eaglin, you know, he played his typical game. Yeah. And of course he had a lot of carries and a lot of hard yards. Mm-hmm. So, but the game, we mixed the pass with the run pretty well that night, so everything came out like we wanted it. But the defense put us in position a lot of times. Mm-hmm,
exactly. And of course, another special occasion, the pre-game ceremony naming November 4th Max Caldarera Day here in Westlake, with you coaching in your final regular season home game as Westlake head football coach after nearly 4 decades. Coach, what were some of your emotions on Friday night?
I don't know. So many things ran through my head Friday night, and you know, you could think of a lot of different things during, you know, all coming down to one final home ball game of the regular season. I don't know, it was something else. And I mean, it was something else to go meet the football team waiting for me to get through with the presentation. They start the slow clapping, and that just about took my heart out. Right, so, and I couldn't hardly get the prayer going or anything, but, you know, it's something you know, it's hard to describe.
Right, and the key word there is final game of the regular season. Y'all have playoffs coming up on a Friday night against Richwood. What's your early scouting report on Richwood?
Richwood is a very, very physical, athletic team. Mm-hmm. We've got our hands full. It seems like when we get to the draws every year, last year was E.D. White, the year before was Patterson, and of course now this year Richwood. Some very athletic teams, and we got our work cut out for us. But I think the kids will come through. The only problem is the long bus ride. We got 4 hours of bus ahead of us, so we're going to get ready. We're going to work hard in practice. Not long, but we're going to work good, correct work.
Okay,
you know, no mistakes, we hope, and get the kids ready to play.
So you're going to keep them in line on that 4-hour bus ride up there?
Well, hopefully we can. We got the cheerleaders on the other bus, so we'll be okay.
Good deal, good deal. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
Of course, as Coach Caldarera and I talked about, Westlake has more work to do as the playoffs begin. The Rams enter the playoffs as the number 20 seed in Class 3A and will travel to take on the 13th seed Richwood on Friday. And Richwood's mascot is coincidentally also the Rams. So Westlake's offense will have some work to do, carried by running backs Justin Nordberg and Devin Eaglin, to take on a Richwood defense that's allowing just 16 points a game. There are 3 rematches among Lake area teams heading into this bi-district round of the playoffs, starting off in Class 3A with Crowley and Jennings. Crowley enters the playoffs at 4-5, Jennings at 8-2, and one of the Bulldogs' 8 wins came in a 21-0 shutout of Crowley. We'll see if Devontae Burke can get going again against Jennings after being limited to just 73 yards against Westlake in the season finale. Moving on to Class 2A, Lake Arthur and Welsh face off again. Welsh beat Lake Arthur 54-14 in the regular season, after Lake Arthur had just snapped its 5-game winning streak the week before. Trent Hargrave has been the fixture of the Lake Arthur offense this season, as he's already racked up more than 1,600 yards throughout the regular season. So it's almost a guarantee that he's going to rack up the amount of yardage each game. But it'll just be a question of if in the playoffs, Welsh can contain him from getting into the end zone. And Welsh has a variety of offensive weapons as well, including David Caraway at quarterback and running back Nick Hebert, for example. So it should be a tough rematch for the Greyhounds and Tigers as they both try to advance to the regional round. In Class 1A, Elton and Oberlin face off again. Oberlin has really had Elton's number for the past 2 seasons, as the Tigers knocked off the Indians twice in 2010, once in the regular season and once in the regional round of the playoffs. And as you might remember, Oberlin's Cedric Skinner single-handedly brought the Tigers back from behind as he scored the winning touchdown and 2-point conversion to lift Oberlin. And this season again, Oberlin spoiled Elton's 7-game winning streak to start the season. 28-12 was the final. So this year, of course, Elton head coach Kevin Bertrand told me that the Indians are eager to see if they can stop Oberlin, who this year has spread the ball around a lot more, rather than relying on Cedric Skinner to really carry the offense. So we'll see if Elton's Michael Levan and a pretty stout Elton defense can contain Oberlin and get their first win in 4 tries against the Tigers. The 3 co-champions of District 4-4A will hit the road on Friday night to begin their playoff runs. LaGrange is the 22 seed, and they'll be facing O'Perry Walker, the number 11 seed. LaGrange coach Jules Sullen told me that they'll have running back Robert Leday quite a bit healthier this week, as after the Gators got blown out by Washington Marion 34-6 in the season finale. Charging Indians head coach Freddie Harrison told me that getting into the playoffs really puts a cap on a strong regular season finish when Washington Marion won 4 straight games. He cited the St. Louis game as a real turning point in the Charging Indians season when they gave Melvin Jones his first shot at quarterback. Jones has really propelled the Charging Indians during their winning streak, rushing for nearly 1,100 yards this season. He and O'Shea Jackson make a very strong running back tandem, and they'll need that as they take on Plaquemine on Friday night. With Washington Marion's win against LaGrange, St. Louis had a chance to edge into the playoffs, and they did just that as they knocked off Beauchesne. But they easily could have lost that game, as Beauchesne had a chance to go up by 2 possessions, but that touchdown was nullified by an offensive holding penalty, and St. Louis took over from there, getting into the playoffs for the 8th straight time in their team's history. And finally, in Class 5A, 13th seeded Barb will host 20th seeded Scotlandville on Friday night. Scotlandville had a strong start to the season, winning 6 of their first 7 games en route to an 8-2 record, and Barb comes in as co-District 3-5A champions at 7-3. Barb's sophomore quarterback Kenan Fontenot will get back to work on his home turf. The sophomore phenom has thrown for 23 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions this season. So if he can continue getting it going with sophomore wide receiver Trey Quinn and some of his other offensive weapons, including wide receiver Deshaun Smith, the Bucks will have a good shot to advance to the regional round come Friday night. And Sulphur is the 31st seed in the Class 5A playoffs, and they will have an extremely tough test as they travel to New Orleans to take on undefeated Jesuit. The Sulphur offense will have to come out in full force if they hope to upset the undefeated Blue Jays. Thanks for watching our Friday forecast of the first round playoff matchups. Be sure to tune in later this week for a preview of the regional round. And as always, pick up an American Press print edition daily for a look at scores, features, highlights, and analysis from high school, college, and professional sports. For now, from Westlake, I'm Rachel Whittaker.